referee it, I don't know what the word is, sympathetically for the first 10 minutes, or with the fact that it's a derby in mind?
I think the best referees understand what this are. I was never the fastest, I was never the fittest. My strength as a referee was man management. And I used to always try and let the game breathe and talk to players and work with players, and it worked for me. I think that's why I know what I've seen. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks.
And it doesn't matter what the game is.
No, as long as it's right. You do that, and as I said, that was a...
But you know, with derbies, sometimes you quite often hear, when we do this or wherever it is in the UK, there's a tackle in the 5th minute of Everton v Liverpool, and you go, well, that might be a yellow, and you go, the ref's given a yellow, you think, right, he's put down his marker for the rest of the game now, and every tackle like that has to be a yellow.
That's where it must be hard.
Sorry, or you don't give the decision, you think, oh, bit of a free... This is going to be a free-for-all.
That's where it must be hard, because you want to let the game breathe, because it's a derby. At the same time, you want to put your stamp on it and go, right, no more of that.
Absolutely.
Yellow card.
And you want to referee it to the left of the law.
How can you let it breathe if you're given a yellow inside 5-10 minutes?
It's a very hard balancing act.
It's about managing what you can manage. There's certain situations you can't manage. So if you get a tackle that is a reckless challenge and you go, well, that is a stonewall yellow card, then you've got to give a yellow card irrespective of if it's the first minute or the last minute. I remember in my last game that I refereed on the Premier League, I had a caution after 50 seconds. And it would have been easy on my last game to think, I'm not going to bother. But you've got to do your job, and that's the beauty of staying at the top.
Does it make the game harder for you, though, Chris, if you do give a yellow in the first minute for something which you think is a yellow, but then everything else like that first yellow...
It has to be a yellow.
You've got to make sure that the decision you make in any game has got to be the right one. And if it's right, people can't disagree with you. You can't get criticised, irrespective if it's a yellow or a red. You've got to do the job. You
did the FA Cup final in 2009, the highlight of which was being interviewed by me beforehand, obviously.
Absolutely, yes.
And you did the League Cup final as well, where you booked the League... This was the League Cup final, which you did before the FA Cup final. You booked Ronaldo, didn't you?
I did. I booked him for diving.
Did you?
In the League Cup final, against Tottenham in 2009, I think it was.
Yes, I think it was,
And it was quite ironic because after the game there was a penalty shootout, and the then Man United goalie Ben Foster was shown the penalties on an iPod.
Yeah. Yes, he was, wasn't he?
That's right.
Yeah, it had never been done before, and obviously Man U won on penalties.
Yeah, I do remember that. And were you aware that he was doing that at the time?
No, I was just trying to get some fluid in because my calves had gone really down. The grass was that long.
That's a great picture.
That's a great,
I've got a feeling, right?
Good, I think.
Tell me if I'm wrong. I've got a feeling you're telling Ronaldo to wait because he's wanting to take a free kick there. Wait for the whistle.
Correct? Yes, that's a good shout. I think you probably are on.
Correct?
Yeah.
Could well be, because isn't that Anderson, isn't
it?
He's left-footed, so it might have been one of those.
I'm looking at his body shape, hands on the hips, he's taking a quick free kick. You're saying wait for the whistle.
Anderson's getting in the queue, he's never going to get a chance. Never going to get a chance.
Told off your
first Premier League player I ever saw pick the ball up and kiss the valve before he put it down for a free kick. Yeah,
because he used to do that, didn't he? When he'd hit it like that.
He was allowed.
And then the FA Cup.
I always thought that was
the same season.
Yeah, me too.
Hitting the valve.
No, the FA Cup final the next year.
I did the Community Shield in the August, then I did the FA Cup final in the May.
And that was quite the FA Cup final, which then, as you can see, Chelsea and Portsmouth.
Absolutely, it was. A couple
of Drogba scored, didn't he?
A couple of interesting stats for that game. So they hit the woodwork 10 times in the final. I gave a penalty to Portsmouth.
Yes.
And Prince Boateng took it and Petr Cech saved it.
Yes.
Wow.
And then I gave a penalty to Chelsea and Frank Lampard put it wide. So 2 penalties in FA Cup final, none scored.
Yeah. And Ballack got injured and missed the World Cup.
Missed the World Cup, he did.
I think Boateng flattened him, didn't he?
He did, he flattened him.
Did he
yellow card.
You gave him a yellow, yes. He did, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He limped off and he didn't play in the World Cup 2010.
Wow. OK, so that's the FA Cup final. Any errors that jump out where you think, you went to bed that night and you think, I got that wrong today?
It's interesting, listening to what Don was saying before. You said you put your boots on a Monday and you'd gone and you could carry on.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
It was just coming out your system.
If I had a game on a Saturday where something had gone wrong, I remember giving a penalty to Tottenham a few years ago. Zakora, did he? Zakora?
Yeah. From Ivory Coast.
I gave a penalty, bang. As confident as you could be, and when I saw it, it was awful. It was a dive. And that night you're watching Match of the Day from behind the TV, sort of, I've got it wrong. And then I couldn't get out my system. It was 2, 3, 4, 5 days for me, and I needed another game to get into.
But when would you then train, though?
The following day, I just got up for a walk or a jog.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is for us, we've got to go in training on a Sunday for a warm down.
Yeah.
And then Monday, your focus starts shifting from what's happened to the next game because you're professionally getting trained. So therefore, it's filtering out your system. So would you have had a proper training day on the Monday?
Right. What would happen is, because we used to meet once every every 2 weeks at training camp. If it was a non-training camp where you'd get it sent through an email through a personal training program. So I would just go to the park and just go for a run.
So then it's still festering.
Yeah, just to get it out. Just to get it out and look it back and then learn from it. That was the big thing. I made an error. I gave a penalty that shouldn't have been a penalty. And I looked at why I'd got it wrong, and it was obvious why I'd got it wrong.
See, that's the difference.
What, you were in the wrong position?
I'd just look down the barrel of a gun instead of just moving here or moving this way, and then.
So you corrected your own mistake in here. You know exactly what. So will that only leave you, Chris, when you play your next?
That's what I'm saying.
Your next game.
Because you go training on a Monday on your own.
Yeah.
You're still going to be just
still
with your
there,
own
isn't it?
thoughts.
No, but I only ever looked at stuff as a referee when I got it wrong. There was no point looking at stuff you got right because that was just a gimme. And then you've got to learn from why you've got it wrong and how you can improve. And that was such an easy thing to sort out.
This is one which I
think. Sorry, Mark. I think we're built the same footballers and referees because the amount of
sportsman,
but the amount of great games you've had, and yet you've gone home. I've gone home on a night time, having got man of the match, having scored a couple of goals, having like one of these games where everything's just come off, and you've gone home and gone, what about that stupid 10-yard ball I give away? So you think about the worst things that you've done in that game, even though it was a 10, 15-yard pass that you give away, and you forget about how brilliant you are on the day.
But that's what
you scrutinise your own game.
But that's what makes you professional sports.
Yeah, but the same as referee.
No, I'm saying all three of you because it's the desire to strive for the best.
Yeah.
And so often I interview you guys like you, and things you've won, and you go, oh, I don't remember winning that. I remember losing that semi-final. Oh, I remember losing that match. But that's what makes you what you are. Gary Neville's last game, New Year's Day 2011 at the Hawthorns.
Rubbish this day.
Had you been out the night before?
No, it was New Year's Day. I'd prepared properly. I'd got to the hotel. I'd gone to bed at 10:30. I was fast asleep and then realised it was New Year's Eve and they had the biggest firework display in Birmingham you ever heard.
Did you give a pen, a red card?
I didn't get much sleep and I refereed that game rubbish. And just before half-time, I should have given a penalty and sent Gary Neville off. And ironically, I've spoke to him since, it was his last game for Man United because he said
he was gone.
I should have been sent off that season 3 times and I wasn't. And I realised that it wasn't working for me. And just after we pressed the bell in the change room to tell the players to come out with the second half, and he said he was in the toilet and didn't want to come out.
That's right.
And I went out and I was as flat as anything. I was just...
Because you knew that stage you got that wrong.
I knew I'd got it wrong, and it haunted me, that.
Did other players know you'd got it wrong and given you some stick for getting it wrong?
Well, they obviously know at half-time, and they came out and said, the classic, have you seen it?
Yeah.
And I said, no, I don't need to see it, because I know what you're going to tell me, I said. They said,
oh, the West Brom players?
Yeah, they were very good. Chris Brunt, I think, played. He just said, look, you know you've got it wrong. I went, yeah. I said, how do you think I'm feeling? And he was like, you'll be all right.
That's fair enough.
What was it like refereeing Sir Alex Ferguson?
It was interesting. I remember a quick story. I refereed Man United Tottenham when Gareth Bale played for Tottenham, and Man U got beat at home 2-3. 5 penalty appeals, and obviously with 18 select group referees, only 10 Premier League matches. And the following week, I refereed Accrington Stanley, and I'm in the warm-up, and
that's in the 4th tier. Yeah.
There's an old lady hanging over the fence, and I was doing the warm-up, and she said, "I know why you're here, Mr. Foy." I said, "Why is that?" She said, "Because you never played enough time for Fergie."
Brilliant.
Sir Alex.
Yeah.
For Fergie. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So we saw that game at the Hawthorns. 2 years later, and I was at this match as well, his last game.
Absolutely, yeah.
West Brom 5, Man United 5, and you were the 4th official.
I was. I'd recovered from an injury. Michael Oliver was the referee.
This is you jabbing in the side of the ball, in the ribs.
Yeah, he just punched me in the stomach. But I think Lukaku scored a hat-trick that night.
He did, for West Brom.
That's nice.
What's he saying here? What's he saying?
I haven't got... Do you know what? I don't
So you were the best.
So
you were a
nice,
great ref.
Nice.
I've met him since, and he's been very nice what he said to me.
To be there that day, the most, the most, let's be honest, the most famous, the most successful manager we've ever had.
Yeah, he was
in a league.
Terrific. It was a great game as well. How to finish the season there? 5-5.
5-5.
Was there an element among all the referees that you are thinking who's managing these teams and how they're going to see you
and how they're going to react?
How they're going to react, and the 4th official is going to be giving you lots of information of the 2 managers getting together and loggerheads.
It might sound like it's an old way of doing it. You can't do that. When you go on that pitch, you've got 11 in blue or 11 in red. It's 22 blokes kicking a ball around, isn't it? The crowd don't come into it. You've just got to concentrate on the green bit.
I wish it was that easy. 22 lads kicking a ball around. It make it so easy, make it sound
a bit of bladder into a bit of goal net.
Jumpers for goal
Jumpers for goal posts.
2 years later, 24th of May 2015, so after 14, 15 years at the top level and 19 years after the Hull game, It all it all comes to an end. Does it come to an end because you have to retire or you want to retire?
No, it was.
Look at that.
I'd made a conscious decision in the October. I was asked would I carry on. I said no. It was my last game. Man City, Southampton.
Is that emotion?
Yeah, a little bit. Caution after about 50 seconds. It was Frank Lampard's last game as well. He played for Man City on the day.
Why did you decide you had enough? Just.
My age. I didn't want to be a referee that people say you should have finished. I wanted to be a referee that people say, why did you finish?
Blowing.
Yeah. You blow it.
Blowing there.
You were very emotional then, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I was probably more nervous on that game than I was on all the other ones you've mentioned because I didn't want to make a pig's ear of it.
Was that the end of the game?
Last game. Yeah, Man City.
Did you keep the ball?
You look emotional.
Yeah,
though.
I've got the ball, and afterwards it was nice because Brian Kidd came in. Sammy Lee was the assistant manager of Southampton, and they gave me a shirt, and I got a ball in a lovely case off the secretary of Man City.
Nice.
So it was nice because my mum and dad were there, my sister, my wife, my daughter. So it was.
That was
the end of it.
emotional because you had a cheeky little look around.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it was done.
I don't know if you said wow, or does it have to say like that's it? But you
Yeah, that was it.
had a good scan around the pitch there.
Yeah, a lot of games.
Right, we're going to play what happened next now.
Oh, goodness me.
OK, just 4 incidents. It's a bit of fun. So, Man City against Newcastle. Chris Foy and Joey Barton both end up on the floor after hitting each other, accidentally. Or Joey Barton sends off Chris after Chris drops his cards. What do you think?
Do we see it? Do we see it first?
No, you've got to guess.
Oh, we got to guess.
I'll go for the latter, I think.
So you think Chris is sent off by Joey Barton?
Yeah, because he's dropped.
What was the first one, Mark?
They hit each other accidentally, obviously.
Yeah,
they
first
ran
one.
into each other.
First one.
OK, there's Joey Barton. You can see just going into his stride at the top of the screen.
Yeah.
OK, let's...
Yeah, they're
What
going to
happens
collide.
here?
They're gonna...
Oh, hang on! You've elbowed him then as well.
Definite yellow.
You've absolutely elbowed him. Look.
Do you know?
Yes.
Do you know what? This is incredible because the ball actually goes through to the goalkeeper, and David James wipes his gloves on my shirt,
Yeah.
gets the mud off. But when I go to blow the whistle, I can't because it's full of mud. So the game's gone on. I'm going. Let's go.
There's nothing coming out.
Thankfully,
You haven't got that one in the locker.
No,
I haven't got
Need
that.
the wolf
So I've
whistle.
got a spur one in my pocket. Yeah.
Number 2, QPR against West Brom. Does
QPR,
Chris
West Brom.
slip with nobody around him and land on his backside? Or does Chris get nutmegged by West Brom's Yusuf Malumbu?
I'm hoping it's a nutmeg.
So am I. So am I.
Both go nutmeg?
Yeah, we've got to go.
Okay, it's the Loftus Road. Here we go. West Brom on the attack. West Brom on the attack, on the edge of the box. What West Brom going on the attack? Whoa!
Oh, he slipped.
Where was the sniper?
Yeah,
Look at him, look at him, look at him. Oh, got your moulds on, ain't you?
Yeah.
Have you got moulds on?
That pitch was like concrete.
Yeah, you've got to put your studs on
Yeah,
there.
you're
So
right.
you had plastic. You had the plastic moulded studs.
Never wore
You've
studs.
gotta go metal
Referees,
studs.
but don't wear studs really, do they?
Have you got any more where Chris is falling over? They are brilliant.
You've got to go,
Oh,
you've got to go metal studs.
Go
there,
get metal
mate.
studs, haven't you?
Gotta go metal.
Bolton against Stoke. Does Chris send off the Bolton mascot, Lofty the Lion, because his kit clashes with Stokes? Or is Chris not well and is ill by the side of the pitch?
Well, the mascot is wearing yellow,
Yeah,
so I'm
yes.
going to go mascot kit.
I'm going to go. I know Chris likes a pint of real ale.
Yes.
I'm going to go. He's sick at the side of the
You think
pitch.
he's sick of the side of the pitch? OK, let's see what happens. This is at Bolton. Oh, Chris
He's
is
going to
having-
send him off. Look.
Lofty the Lion.
Disgrace.
He's sent him off.
Oh, that's
Right,
terrible.
there is a reason for
Terrible,
it.
you are. Horrible.
What Lofty the Lion was doing, he was mimicking the assistant referee who was on the opposite side of the pitch. So when he gave a throw in, he was confusing with the offside. He was making all the
What
decisions.
about all the kids? All
Hang
the
on.
kids.
Hang on, I've actually sent Bill the Badger off at Fulham as well. Because he was doing a breakdancing routine before we're trying to kick the second half off. Yeah, he had to go.
I love that.
Lofty the Lion. Did you have to put in a report to the FA? And Newcastle against Swansea at St James's. Does Chris get the ball in his face and need
hopefully.
treatment, or does one of his boots come off while he's running?
I think Chris gets in the face.
So do I.
Yeah.
Well, you can
Hope
see it.
so.
Look, here's John Joe Shelvey playing for Swansea in
Yes,
those days,
yes.
of course. Let's have a look. Is it Chris's boot or face?
Face.
Oh!
Out. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Ask him, Ref.
5.
Let me tell you. What's this?
Oh!
What happened? Right, OK. So I get it right in the
It's
face.
taking you 15 seconds
Full
to go down.
on. I've got it full on in the face. So I'm actually... As I get it in the face,
Look, you go, I'm all right.
I'm looking at the Gallagate end, and I can see I'm blurring up because my eyes are watering, my nose is getting thick, and my lips are going. And the next thing,
That is a brilliant shot.
I'm face down.
Yeah,
So
look.
the physio comes on. I remember this. The physio comes on, and he gets me to
Who's
the thing.
physio?
Newcastle's physio.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you feeling? I said, I'm all right. Just give us a minute. Give us a drink of water. I'll be fine. So he said, just have a bit of smelling salts. So I'm like, yeah, all right, great. Come on. And he puts his arm around me and he says, we'll just walk to the touchline, and when the referee waves you back on, you can crack on. So I walk off with him, and after about 20 paces went, am I the referee? And he went, you've been knocked out. So I actually I was in the change room with the doctor for the duration of the match. I had to get taken home, and I was grounded for 2 weeks. Yeah, I was concussed.
Wow.
So you got replaced then?
Yeah, Anthony Taylor came on, and I was concussed, knocked out. I got it right in the boat race.
Right in the bugle.
Right.
Yeah, right in the
I am a referee, yeah.
Shame. Yeah, it's a shame.
What's he on there, Don?
He's got moulds again on.
What are they?
He's got moulds
What are they
again.
like? What are those?
Nike.
He's got moulds on.
Other boots are available.
Yeah. Gotta start wearing long studs, man.
I know, I should have done, yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. That's really good, Chris. So plenty
Brilliant,
more
well
for you.
done.
That's really interesting on your career. And after the break, we'll look at how officiating has evolved.